Oh, I literally just finished my first Spfbo vlog. So if you watch that and you're like, this is like the clip, like 4 seconds afterwards. And Spfbo is, if you don't know, the self-published fantasy blog of which BOOKCLUB hosts, and Cassidy from Course with Cassidy is making her own version where we are 10 people all together reading the books and like declaring the winner. I will leave the link to like the website down below where Cassidy has put up all like our, I was gonna say reviews and different stuff down below, where also you can see like our rating metric thingy that we all follow. I have now read 5 books for Spfbo. This is the second Spfbo vlog, so I read the 5 first ones. This is my ranking so far for all of them that I read. So the Storm is so far winning of the ones I read, and that is the thoughts I have for this first clip. No, actually, I started the next Spfbo book and I had to randomize this when I was at work, so you didn't get to see me randomize it because I randomized the other ones in like the vlog itself, in the first vlog, and here in this one. Did I say? I am confused. I'm going to read the rest of the Spfbo books. So the one that won the next spin was Miss Percy's... what is the title? It's so long. You can see it now, but I need to say it. Miss Percy's Pocket Guide to the Care or Feeding of British Dragons. Why am I saying? So we have like 2 cozy dragon fantasy books in like one thing, and I'm just like, that's so random. But either way, this one follows Miss Percy. Her name is Mildred, if I believe correctly, and she has been living in her sister's house for like basically her life, taking care of her kids, basically being like a governess, a teacher, a babysitter, a housekeeper for the family, even though she is technically visiting, but she's been living there for like the past 17 years or something. And then suddenly she gets an inheritance of like her granduncle or something. I don't know if it was actually her granduncle or just uncle. And she inherits like lots of crap in like a big, I was gonna say box. It has a different name. It's like a huge box, not a tiny one. And in that one, she finds a stone that turns out to be a dragon egg. Like, I assume that's not a spoiler. You kind of get the vibe from the cover. And I guess now they're just like, oh my god, dragons are real. I'm gonna take care of it, etc. I'm 128 pages in, if I remember correctly. And I'm liking it so far. I'm not amazed or like mind blown away. Very recently, I read Marie Brennan's books, the 1 and 2 there, because I'm reading that as a buddy read with my patrons, the whole series. And it has like kind of the vibes of a Marie Brennan book, just that I think that Marie Brennan book was written better, but it's just like kind of like the vibes with the dragons in a way, just that this is more like cozy English village kind of vibe, but they remind me a lot of each other. So we should see like what develops. I just assume they're gonna just take care of the dragon and that she's gonna marry the dude. Like, that's just my prediction that is helping her, and I think they're gonna like maybe probably open something to take care of the dragon, unless they just set the dragon free, but I feel like that would be stupid. And in the beginning of like each chapter, we have like a expert from like her book that she wrote about taking care of dragons. So I assume maybe having dragons maybe would be normalized. Like, who else would read this book or not? I don't know. I feel like the book could be set like in the same world as Scales Accessibility that I read, you know, the other Spfbo book, because it's like this could be like 100 years before when dragons were being normalized, and then in Scales Accessibility then dragons, like everyone just has one on their shoulder or something. I feel like it could be set in the same world, just like it could be a prequel to that book. It's a bit funny, at least with the vibe so far. I'm not hating it, but I'm not like, oh my god, it's amazing either. I'm just like feeling like, oh, it's cute, but it's like, I don't know why, but it just still doesn't feel as engaging as I feel that it should be, but I cannot put my like finger on exactly why. So I'm just feeling like mid, even though I feel like the book isn't bad. It's just like, I guess I'm not enjoying myself as much as I wish I was. But yeah, that is my thoughts so far. Obviously, we'll update when I have more. I want to finish that today, but we shall see if that happens. I will let you know. See you later. It is so cold. Like, I'm literally freezing and I'm inside. I'm going to bed. I did finish earlier Miss Percy's. I won't bother saying the whole title again. And it was like, okay, I think I gave it, I don't know what I landed on, 5.8, I think. I won't like pop it right now. So it's like, underneath has accessibility, over 13 hour, and not a touch of light. The one with the spiral on. What's it called? Not a spiral into darkness. A Song of the Void, sorry. I was really annoyed that I couldn't remember it. I know it doesn't really matter. But I'm putting you here. Now that I finished that, I can spin for my next one. But yeah, what to say more? Is there more I want to say about like Miss Percy's? I enjoyed it. It was okay. I just felt like I was kind of reading like a middle grade while it's not marketed as such. It was just kind of where we followed this 40-year-old woman, which I kind of enjoyed that she was 40 and like it's a different kind of main character than we used to. But it felt like I was reading about a 16-year-old in my head. And that kind of vibe, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but it's just like, I don't know, I just wish more from certain things. And then it was just something about the writing that I didn't personally like. It was a lot of like where we added to the story in context a lot in parentheses, as it is called. And I was like, oh, she went to get biscuits, and then, for example, in parentheses, it would say, oh, but not the kind of dry biscuits you're thinking about, but more like happy biscuits that you would eat with your grandma, like something like that. And like, I liked it, because I do kind of enjoy that kind of writing where you kind of break the fourth wall a bit and talk directly to the reader. I do enjoy that, but it was just a bit much. It was just a bit much, but it was cute and whimsical as well. And I enjoyed parts of it a lot, but there was just something about it that just made me be like, am I done now? Like, I don't care anymore. I guess it felt like, because the plot just moved very like slowly, there's not really like an exciting plot to follow. It's just like her finding out that she heard that there's a dragon and trying to find out what to do with it, and then someone tried to steal it, and that's like the whole thing. And I guess like it wasn't as engaging as I would want it to be. There wasn't like a magic system, a world to build. It was just like this character who's old and not old, but like older, and I haven't done really much. She's just been taking care of her nephews and nieces, and she inherited a dragon. And I get the vibe. I get it, what the author was trying to do, and get what the book is. But it doesn't necessarily mean that I loved it, I was just kind of bored. But yeah, that is thoughts. I did realize I was just going to move on without like reviewing. I need to review a bit, but I'm going to spin now. We only have 4 books left for Spfbo. It's soon 2 a.m. I can't speak anymore. So it shall be exciting to finish it off. Sounds mean, like I'm not enjoying myself, but to read the last books to see what I think. I'm spinning already, because I just pressed spin before holding my phone up, and it became Small Miracles. Okay, so this one seems to be a one that everyone enjoys a lot, and it seems to have like a Good Omens vibe. It is also a bit short though, like 250 pages, which is kind of what I need, even though I'm off tomorrow, but I feel like I've been reading so much. But yeah, we shall see if I enjoy it. I don't know where I will fall in. I know it has footnotes as well. That can be a very hit and miss with me. So we shall see what happens tomorrow. I will read the whole thing then. You should see me then. Yay. Okay, so I started Small Miracles by Olivia Atwater, as I said I was going to do last night. I'm on page 99. The book is currently like 270 pages on the Kindle. And I was unsure if I would like it. As I said earlier, I knew it had footnotes and was like, Good Omens vibes, and it does definitely have the Good Omens vibes, but it is actually understandable, like the book, like the written book, and it is really, really fun. I'm really much enjoying it. I'm just like, dang, why am I liking this? But either way, it follows the angel Gabriel, who is gender fluid, goes with different pronouns. They are getting this task from another angel, because Gabriel has kind of quit as like a good angel. They go around doing their own thing and making people's sin meter go up or down. So basically, like, a sin could be eating chocolate, then you get like a sin point. Or like if you do a good deed, let's say you buy someone else a coffee, you would get like plus good points. Was it called good points? The opposite of sin points. And then they get a task from one of the other angels they have like known for another time, and that angel is like still working for God, etc. And they get a task to like make someone's sin meter go down. Not go down, I guess go up. They want the sin meter to go up, like have more sin points. And they start trying this out, and it's like basically impossible. The other person just don't want to sin. And the angels can kind of like talk just into someone's head without them knowing, like an inner voice, and tell them to do something bad, like, oh, you really want this chocolate, and then you eat that chocolate. And Gabriel has tried this, and it's not working on this person called Holly. But she's like struggling a lot. A lot of things going on in her life. So Gabriel's now inserting themselves into Holly's life in a way to make this sin meter go up. I mean, they actually have minus sin points because they just have a lot of good deeds. It was like 20 more sin points they were trying to make Holly get, and so far they have gotten 1. So we should see how this goes. I wonder if Gabriel will like start helping Holly. She's in a pretty rough spot for different reasons. But it's just all come together where Gabriel's trying to find out like why Holly is not like, what's it called, vulnerable to sin, because usually when they're like down and stressed and depressed and like miserable, they usually are more prone to sin than like opposite. So they're trying to find out like what is going on, etc. Either way, really enjoying it so far. It is written very humoristic, but clearly like with thought and with like a, I was gonna say, deeper story underneath it all. And also why is it sin to eat chocolate? Who knows? But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I do believe I shall finish it today. So this was like my first impression saying what the book is about, thoughts. And I need to go and read now because I want to know what happens. I finished Small Miracles and it was so sweet. Like, I didn't think I was gonna like it much because I don't know why. I just didn't think I was gonna like it. It was just so good. I really enjoyed how it was written. I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed like the conclusions they came to. It was just very heartfelt and good, and it just knew what it was doing so well and like hit all the right spots for what the book it was. And I'm just like dying. I haven't actually rated it yet. Give me a second, I'm gonna do it now. I can't believe it. I actually can't believe it because following the rating metric thing, it lands on an 8.2, which means it's over the Unbold Storm, which in my head doesn't make sense, but it just is. Oh my god, it's like currently winning. It was my lowest prediction. I'm shocked. I'm shocked beyond words. But I'm like looking at this, like the scores, and I'm just like, that is what it is for me. So I feel like I can't change it. Dang. Mind blown, actually, y'all. But it was just so good. I really enjoyed it. I guess we can spin for the next one. Since we're here. Let's go. I just started spinning again before having it in front of you. Mysterious Ways. I don't know anything about this, obviously. But we should see what I think about it. I will probably start that tomorrow and figure out like if, when, how, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna finish it then. Yay. Look how cute he is. Do you wanna pee? Do you wanna dance? Blub, blub, blub. Why are you staring upwards? What are you looking at? Oh, you're looking at me! Cutie. Now something much less cute, which is my face. I started the next book, which was obviously Mysterious Ways. And I am now on page 99, so I thought that I should talk a bit more about what the book is about. It follows Isabella, who is a commander in like the city watch in her town. And in this town, there are like demons going around, but there's also angels, and she's obviously working for the angels that is like under the goddess, and she's going around arresting criminals, and every time there is like a criminal thing happening, they usually send that criminal to like a judge that just send them to hell. And now there's murders happening, and she's been told to send a person called Karis to hell, and they're like kind of been like a cat and mouse game for a long while. Karis kind of con artist, thief, etc. But it seems that they kind of, I wouldn't say have a thing now, but they kind of have like a banter thing going on, and definitely gonna kiss, I assume. Isabella is questioning like the whole system of how they're doing things, because every time there's murder happening, they kind of just arrest the people on the scene. They don't like do any investigations, etc. And she's questioning like this whole system and wants to like change it, but everyone's just like, no, we need to like solve everything as quickly as possible, and there's no investigations into any of the murders. And right now there's like been, I think, 3 murders, and like there's no investigation. It's just like, now we're done. But the judge that like is the sibling of the goddess judges people, and like cannot do wrong, but clearly they have. So Isabella wants to change things and is trying to do that, etc. And then she needs to work together with Karis to do certain things, and we should see how it goes. Banana. It was like interesting setup in a way. I just think the book is a bit random. It just happens really like random things suddenly, and I was just like, what? I just didn't get it. Like the writing is a bit weird, and it doesn't like flow as nicely as you would want it to, because as I said, random things are just happening while I'm like trying to concentrate on this world and this plot. But it's just, it doesn't feel rapid even of how things is happening. It just feels really random. It doesn't feel natural the way the story is flowing. But I am like liking the characters. I think it's an interesting proposition to be in. I just like, I don't think the writing is as good as the story. It drags the story down. If the writing was a bit better, I think it would have been a better story. And the world is also written as a matriarchy instead of being a misogynistic world as we live in. It's always interesting when a book is written like that, because, you know, it swaps like what we know the world as. But also it just feels weird sometimes as well, But in this world, all the like the women are in power. Like we have a queen and like who's in power. All like the chief roles in the military are by women, because women are like the smart and intelligent ones and got like the brain cells, while the men are like prone to like anger and violence, and that's why they can't be in leader roles. And then we have like this guardsman that has like been on Isabel's side for many years, called Theo, that wants to like apply for like a commander position, and she's like, you can't do that. You're a man, and like obviously. It usually is like the opposite, where the woman has to fight to like, you know, be seen, etc. And it's like, it's known that the men are stronger, but they're not smart enough to not realize the act with violence, etc. if they don't get what they want. So like most of them are guardsmen, but like they don't get more responsibility. They're just like there to like follow the rules exactly and not like take responsibility. But yeah, the world is built a bit weird of like with the guards, etc. And I don't just mean because of the, I guess, gender roles we can call it, but just how the society functions. I just don't completely get it, because we have this queen, we have angels and demons and the goddess that they clearly pray to, but we also have Satan, and she's also a woman. And then it's like the setup, I don't understand like the power complex of the world and like how the world can function in the way it has by just sending obviously innocent people to this judge for such a long time. I just like, in my head, the society is not well enough explained to be a functioning society. And like, yes, obviously they want to change stuff, but like it's been like this for a long time, and I'm just like, how does this work? Struggling a bit with it. I'm not hating it, but I'm struggling a bit. But yeah, I'm gonna keep reading. Try to finish it today. Yay. It is so bright because of all the snow. Either way, last night I did finish Mysterious Ways. The reason I didn't update last night was because I decided to finish it at like 3 a.m. Because I decided to do some other stuff. Well, like I read most of it and then like finish it super late. Because I was like, no, I'm not gonna finish it tomorrow. And I was way too late after that for no reason at all. But I'm alive. I ended up like liking it okay. There was just, as I said, some shaky writing that made me like not love it completely. And I felt like the characters was just, what to say, while they had some developments and realizations, they weren't just like, it wasn't like great character development, but I like my characters like realizations, I guess. But just how things played out and came together almost felt almost like a satire, like kind of humoristic, because it was just a bit, not necessarily over the top, but it was a bit like too easy. And I was just like, I felt like anyone could have done what they were doing, so I was just not convinced of how they were able to do this, of how things functioned, etc. Because I just felt like the author didn't write it well enough, or like that it was written well enough for me to like completely was convinced of the things happening. So that bugged me in a way. There was like a realization gap in my head where it was just like, this is so easy, like literally anyone can do this, like why were they able specifically to do this? But it was like, it was okay. I felt really like down in the beginning, but in the end I had started to care for the characters and like wanted to see the story play out, and I thought like the ending and stuff was fun, and just how, as I think the development, like the conclusion was a bit funny. I guess, I don't know if it was supposed to be funny, but I thought it was funny. So I ended up like liking it okay. It's not the worst, it's not the best. I haven't put it in the rating thing yet because I've been busy and by sleeping, and so I'm going to do that a bit later. But I would think it will fall like mid, not lowest, but mid. But when you actually like separate the components of the story, I always get like, wow, why is it so low? So who knows? Sadly, the author did pass away, so we will never like get a continuation of the story and like more developments of the world. But I feel like it is also a kind of story where you can't think of it as a standalone. Like it doesn't end on a cliffhanger or anything like that. You can clearly see maybe the vibe of the story would go. I'm not saying that the world wouldn't have more secrets and more things to contribute because it was going to be a trilogy. So I do think like the author had a bigger image in their head, and I can definitely like see some parts of it. But it's also like, it's fine as a one standalone adventure because it concluded a lot of stuff, and then the way it ended, it was like okay. But obviously that's really sad. Unfortunate that we don't get more, because I would pick up the sequel if it was ever to be one. But yeah, that is, I guess, thoughts for Mysterious Ways. So not amazing, but like I'm feeling fine. And now obviously we only have 2 books left. So when we spin now, we will know the next book as well, because obviously then there's only 1 book left, so there's no point spinning. So there's Tethered Spirits, I think, and Fire of the Forbears left. Where? Let's see. Let's see what we get. Fire of the Forbears. Is that what it says? Yes, so the Fire of the Forbears, and then Tethered Spirits will be afterwards. I don't even know how many pages this one is. I feel like it's gonna be a lot. This is one where I feel like it's gonna be like typical fantasy-esque, according to the cover. But I don't actually know. So we shall see. According to how many pages it is, I will see if I can finish it today, or read like half-ish. But now I need to go and do some driving. So we shall see me later. So it's been like 3 days and I didn't upload this vlog. And why is my hair like a dying rat? Either way, I kinda chose Fire of the Forbears. Is it 3 days ago now? 2 days ago. And then I saw it was 600 pages. And I was like, nah, I'm out. I'm done. No, okay, I'm joking. I'm of course gonna read it and everything. I have started it. I just put it off a whole day where I was just like, I need a break. And then I was going to read yesterday and I only read 136 pages. That's when I started. And I need to read a bit now before going to bed. But I am planning to try to finish it tomorrow. So I read like 136 pages of it. So I have started it, like, and I've gotten like 20% in it. In theory, I should have stuff to say about it. I honestly don't know what's going on. It is written not amazingly. I like don't like how it's written at all. And I think anything in the story is benefiting from how it's written. It just feels very... I don't have words for how it feels. It just feels not written well. I don't know how to explain it, but just how it feels. And we follow Kura, who like lives kind of like out in the country. I think, I don't exactly know why, but I think her people or family follows like a different religion of some sorts. And she lives with like kind of out in the wild, but like far away from like cities and stuff, and they're like animals and they can speak, and she's like made deals with them because like so they want to attack her family, etc. And then they are being attacked because they are kind of like nearby or part of ish with some rebels that are resisting like the king whatever, and she's now separated from her family, and that's what's going on with her. We have another main character. Oh, I didn't write down his name. What was his name? Sebastian? Bastian? Tobias? He had like a really typical name, and I was like, I'm sure I will remember it, and now I don't. I'm gonna check. Wait. Tristan! Tristan was his name. Tobias, Sebastian, you know, they had like almost the same vibe. But Tristan is his name, and he is the son of the king. So he's the prince. And we're just gonna probably call him the prince. And it seems like the king stole the kingdom they're controlling now through another rebellion, because he said like, oh yeah, I didn't take this throne for nothing, and like, I don't know, that's the vibe I got, but I might be wrong, because maybe he just of course inherited the throne, so I don't know. That's what we have. It also has some elemental people that can control elements, and that's what we have. And then now the prince is going out, and there's also like a council that's supposed to like vote and stuff, so the king doesn't have all the power or whatever. And then like it's not really going that well, and then he's like working with other people in the council that wants different stuff, and some want war, and I assume it's gonna be betrayals and stuff. But yes, kind of like a typical fantasy setup. But I just don't enjoy the writings. I'm not enjoying the story at all so far. I might change my mind, but that is my like impression so far as 20% I am in. I just was seriously just like, I'm bored. I'm already done with the story, and I am like, I haven't even gotten that far into it. I feel a bit mean saying that, but like, you know, I'm trying to review the book and like have my impressions as we go. Hopefully I will feel better. Usually I feel better in books when like I've been in them for a while, because then I'm like into it and I care. So we should see. Like, I think I might be able to like it more later, but right now I don't understand. Well, I understand it, but I don't think the word building is great. I don't think the writing is great. I don't think any of the characters seems interesting, and I'm not really that curious about the world. So I'm sad about it, because I thought I would like it more, because it has like a typical fantasy vibes, you know, a bit like Umber Storm thingy from the cover, even though they're completely different covers. But yeah, that is my impressions now. I'm gonna try to finish it tomorrow, so my next clip might just be me having said I finish it and trying to review and my thoughts then, and I might not be able to finish it and finish it later in the day. We shall see. Okay, well, I gotta go to bed now. See you later. Hello. So I actually finished Fire for Forbears earlier today, like much earlier today, and then I had sprints and I didn't have to my vlog. I just put it off all day. Even in sprints, I like had already finished my book before I work, so like I finished here for ages, unrelated to this vlog. but I finished that, which was my audiobook with Erica. But 5 of Forbears, finished our work, didn't really enjoy it. I think my enjoyment wise of all the books with Spfbo is the lowest of all of them. I think like A Song of the Void I didn't end up enjoying because it was just kind of a mess in the end. I didn't care for anything that happened. But the 5 of Forbears I didn't enjoy any of the way through. I didn't care for the characters, I didn't care for the plot, I didn't care for the world, I didn't care for anything in the book whatsoever. I can see the ideas in it being good. Like, I can see what the author was thinking, but I just feel like a first draft, it feels or more like, just, I wish it was written better and it deserved more than what I got. I think maybe the author would have proved like in sequels, etc. But just didn't care for anything. When I was reading it, I was just like, what did I read? I don't care for this, which is like really weird. I don't know why I feel like so strongly. It's a bit like intense, but it's just how I ended up feeling, and that is my thoughts. I don't really have anything more than that. I still have not rated, which one? Mysterious Ways? Was that the one I read before this? Jesus, it's all blending together. But I'm going to do that tomorrow or something. I was planning to do it today, like under the spins and then vlog, but I just never did because I'm a horrible vlogger. But yeah, so I'm going to do that. And then I only have one left, which is Tethered Spirits, which I shall try to read tomorrow. I'm like slightly behind in my schedule in my head, but I think I will be fine. But yeah, I feel like I should talk more about 5 of the Forbears. I just don't have anything more. I don't have more to say. I'm done with thinking about that book, okay? I was bored. I didn't enjoy myself at all. So I'm sad about it. I don't really think about it anymore. I think like I already know like if I was going to rate it, not like in the ranking thing, but in like a star rating, it would be like a 2 stars. So there's that. See you later. I was fixing up in my like rating thingies and I realized that I haven't even said what I think I gave Mysterious Ways, which ended on a 5.6. So it's not really that high. And when I look at them, I feel like I enjoyed Mysterious Ways, I think, more than Miss Percy's, which has a higher rating. But I think some aspects of, like, the coziness and, like, plot, maybe, in Miss Percy's I enjoyed more. Because I feel like the plot in Mysterious Ways annoyed me, and I think Percy's was written better. So that's why I guess it makes sense it is higher. But I'm looking over, I'm just like, does it make sense? I guess it makes sense. And then 5 of the Forbears, which I finished yesterday, and as you know, I didn't really enjoy, gave a 3.6, which is very low. I just felt like for me, there wasn't like great stuff to the story at all. I was like trying to actually rate it higher because I felt so bad. Like I feel like it is under A Song of the Void, which doesn't make sense, but I feel like A Song of the Void was written better. And while I lost interest in The Song of the Void, I was much more intrigued and enjoyed myself until like, as I said before, like the last like 30%. Well, 5 of the Forbears I was never like into, and I didn't like the characters or the plot or anything about the story, and I didn't like how it was written. So it makes sense in my head that it is low, but 3.6 was so low, and I feel like it doesn't make sense it's lower than A Song of the Void, but also it makes sense. Obviously I have one book left, and as you can see, it will land somewhere. I doubt it would take Small Miracles, but it could. So we shall see. I feel really bad for 5 of the Forbears. I would never rate it 1 star because I feel like it's not a 1-star book, but 2 stars. I'm sorry. I rounded Song of the Void down to 2 stars though. But still, I think in my head I could rate it 2.5. Either way, I wanted to like talk about the rankings a bit and what they ended up on. But yeah, Tethered Spirits, I'm gonna start it now. I'm not in the mood to read. I need to read Monstrous. I might actually read that and get like into the reading mood and see how much of Tethered Spirits I get today. I was planning to finish it, but I forgot that Shadow and Bone Season 2 is out. But Erica's not home right now, and I need to wait for her to get home, because we watch it together, obviously. So you shall see. But you should hear from me soon. Okay. Hello. I finally started Tethered Spirits. I don't think I talked properly about it yet. I started properly yesterday, and I read a bit more today. I'm going to read a bit more before going to bed. I don't know why. This vlog didn't die, but I died. Life has been too lifey to read properly and do YouTube properly. It's just too much life. So sometimes you need to prioritize other things. But I started it, and it started very direct. And it was very, like, I would say a bit confusing almost, because I was just like, what is going on? What is character? I didn't really understand anything. And I think that's kind of the point before you get into it. So we followed 3 POVs. And I'm going to try to explain like the setup of the story. I'm going to find my notes. Where's my notes? First we have Amar, who in the very much of the beginning of the story dies, and his whole thing is that he has now resurrected. I think this is either the third or the fourth time, but every time this happens he doesn't remember anything like about his life. Like, he remembers how to eat and walk and talk and etc. and read, but he doesn't remember the people around him. And among the people around him we have his best friend, who has like been true with him these times that he has died, and like try to like tell him about himself and like, oh, we're friends, and like, but he doesn't actually remember them. He's like a lot of bitterness and like questions for why he's like this, and the whole story kind of evolves around him and how he gets resurrected, but also doesn't remember anything. We don't really know exactly why he gets resurrected or why he doesn't remember anything. It seems to be like a double curse of some sort, and we're trying to figure this out. That's like the main point of the story. Very interesting concept overall. I was so confused in the beginning because we went on like a building and then we were attacked and then he died, and I was just like, well, who are you again? I just didn't understand, because obviously I probably read the synopsis at one point but didn't remember. But yeah, very fascinating right now, and that is like kind of, as I said, the main part of the story, figuring out why this is a thing. Then we also have another character. I'm mixing up the two other characters, which are both female, and I'm mixing up who is what. So we have Kesari, and Kesari travels with Amar and like his companion. She is something. It's like a word for it. It's kind of a magic thing. It has like a specific word, but I have not written it down. I don't remember what it is right now. But basically, she has the ability, or had the ability when she's a kid. She bonded with someone called Lucian, and he's dead, and she can see like his spirit. And I think she also gets powers from having this bond. Like, I don't know all the details for it, but she does not use her bond or her powers at all. We don't know exactly all the specific reasons for it, but she's there to break this bond, and I don't know why exactly she thinks Amar and the people will get answers for how to break it. But it's like, I think it's looked upon like as not a normal thing necessarily, like not everyone has it, but like a known thing that people have these powers and a bond with like a dead person. And she could have healed Amar when he was like dying, but she's choosing not to use her powers at all. And her story is like to have a story where she's going to break the bond, and then Lucian will eventually disappear as well, but he's like fine with it in a way. So that is her story, and she's traveling with them. And then our last point of view is Aleida. I don't know how to pronounce her name. And she is the one hunting them. She is, I think, from somewhere else, because she's like, people can see on her that she's from somewhere else. And she also has like the same powers, because she also has a bonded person, it seems like. I don't know if like they have the exact same thing, but they recall the same word. And she also has like a person she sees and talks to. And she is hunting them, and she was the one who killed Amar. And she's still after them. She's hunting him. I was a bit confused in the beginning. Okay, there was a lot of things going on, and I lost it a bit. But right now the story has slowed down a lot. We are just following the different views. They're traveling, she's hunting them, and then we should see how this hunt goes. Obviously things has already happened with her, but I don't want to like spoil more, because I'm like a couple of 100 pages in. Not a couple of 100. I'm over 150 pages in. So I feel like at this point there's like a bit of a spoiler territory. But yeah, that's kind of the basics of the story. I feel like it's much cooler than I describe it, and it's written much better than Fire of the Forbears, so that's nice. And I am enjoying it so far. I would admit to say that the beginning really put me off, and I was just like, what is going on? And then I had to like really like focus much more. While like my brain right now, because life is lifing so much, I feel like it is so tired, it cannot take in complicated stuff. So I was like unprepared, and I'm like, oh my god, when like the book started out. But I am enjoying it a lot, much more than I thought I would. And I was gonna finish this book like 2 or 3 days ago in theory, but here we are now, and it's Saturday tomorrow, and I was like, I was definitely gonna be done today, but it's not happening. And I'm just like, Sandra, I was just not thinking about what was supposed to happen, and just read it, and when I'm done, I'm done. That is thoughts and a bit about the book is about, even though it was a bad description. Maybe it says more in the synopsis. Okay, it even says in the synopsis, Kesari is a Tarja, granted magical abilities to her bond with her spirit named Lucian. And like, she wants to sever this bond. Okay, so Aleida is after Amar's abilities because she wants to save her brother for fatal illness. And that's why she's after him. I don't know how I missed that. How I my brain forgot it. Okay, don't be mad at me. But yeah, I'm gonna read a bit more now, and I'll update when I probably finished it or have more thoughts, which will be tomorrow sometime. Probably. My shoulder hurts a lot. Bye. Hello. It has been a few days. I think it's Monday today, and I said I was gonna finish Tethered Spirits on Wednesday or Thursday or something. I procrastinated. I didn't read. But I finished it last night, very late, and I did enjoy myself. It was like a fun story. I don't think I was blown away, but I actually really enjoyed the characters and I kind of enjoyed the storyline of things were revealed. I'm curious to see where we go. It was definitely like a bigger plot storyline going on than what you initially think. And it was like a good time. I didn't love it, but it wasn't like my least favorite either. And I put it already into the scoreboard, which is also, you know, the final book. So it ended up on 6.4. I don't know where I will have the scoreboard anymore. It's so big now, so like, do I need to go further away so you can see properly? I don't know. But as you can see on the scoreboard we have, I'm looking at it here, we had an 8.2 for Small Miracles, which then won my Spfbo, or like, yeah, I mean, all the scores is going to come together, but you get my point. And 5 of the Forbears got a 3.6. I feel bad. But yeah, when I'm looking at like the Tethered Spirits came on 5th place, it makes sense for the enjoyment I have for that compared to like Miss Percy's that came right after. It's just like, it makes sense of all for like what I felt for me was like the quality of the story, the characters come together. It is weird like seeing they scored up on each other like this, like, because there's so different books, you know, it's not the same at all. So comparing them feels weird, but that's kind of what we're doing. And yeah, I had a really good time. I really enjoyed the different reads, and you know, it's very different. It's like, it can be a bit outside the box, it can be good or bad, but it's nothing, I wouldn't say anything was terrible. It was just like not quite stories I enjoy. So that's what I want to say. Other people can definitely find enjoyment in some of these. Yeah, that is my final scores. I don't know what more to say. Again, thank you so much to Cassidy for asking me to be a part of this. And I had a good time reading some indie fantasy for once, and now I had some good recommendations to go. I actually really enjoyed it with my miracles, like thinking about it now. I don't know more and more thinking about it, and I want to reread it again or read something like it. Oh god, I almost stepped on a cat. But yeah, I just wanted Mifa to say hi before we left. Bye. Thank you so much for watching this. Leave a angel emoji down below in honor of Small Miracles. You shall see me soon in a new video, and goodbye.